On this week's show, the German community now have access to purchase the Tread.
Plus, we have 3 new Peloton Tread instructors and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 55 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm Amanda Siegel, and I'm joined by my co-host, John Pruitt. Hey, John.
Hey now, how's it going, Amanda?
It's good. Yeah, crazy week.
Yeah.
Another crazy week. It just seems to be these weeks are flying, aren't they?
I know. Fall, I'm ready to embrace fall, though. I'm loving the cooler weather we're getting here in Michigan. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it is. It is no question that it has cooled down quite nicely here. And yeah, I have to say it is. It's nice. It's all good, and it's really nice. And yeah, I am ready to get into this whole fall thing, I think, right? I don't know how impressed Cody will be with the whole, pumpkin thing before October.
Yeah. Are you into the pumpkins? Are you a pumpkin spice latte person? I am not.
No,
Okay.
I'm not. I'm not into a pumpkin anything. I guess 30 years of living in America hasn't quite gotten me into it.
Yeah, not my thing either.
So it definitely is a taking used to. So you know what, John, we have a lot to chat about today. So I think we should go right into it. And but you know what? Before we get started with the news, folks, we always do like to remind you how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button never to miss an episode.
Or if you prefer to listen to us while you're on the move, we're also in traditional podcast format on all platforms. Just search Pelo Buddy TV. Click subscribe, hit that notification button so you never miss an episode. And please leave us feedback. We'd love to hear from you, how we're doing, if you have suggestions for the show, how we could improve things, if we need to make some tweaks. We do love your feedback. So please leave us a review.
Sounds good. And finally, folks, we are on Facebook and Instagram. So just search Pelo Buddy and follow us on all of those platforms for all of the latest news. And now, John, let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
Well, folks, for a week we thought maybe quiet. We got quite a lot to get through. We begin this week's show with news from our German community. The new lower-cost Peloton Tread is finally on sale. We had first reported back in August that the Tread would become available in September. And as of last Tuesday, September 28th, those living in Germany can now purchase the Tread. The base price package is available for 2,495 euros. And with the sale of the Tread, it seems quite appropriate that Peloton have now officially announced their new German tread coaches. Tobias Heinze, I'm sure I've butchered that last name, but Tobias Heinze was the first to be announced by Peloton on Wednesday. Tobias is an ultra marathoner as well as a triathlon coach. He also loves to ski, play football, tennis, basketball, and gives a lot of his attention to weight training. He certainly does have a very interesting background, though, John, because prior to this whole fitness world that he got into, he was an aeronautical engineer. So I think it sounds like he's going to probably bring in quite a bit of his science background into his approach, for sure. He is married, so sorry, ladies. And according to his instructor page, he just absolutely adores his 2 kids who share his passion for running. So Tobias's premier run was on Wednesday, the 29th at noon Eastern Time. I did not jump on. I actually have not been on the tread at all this week. And with all these new coaches, I'm going to need to do some major catch up because, folks, there's another one. Next up is Marina Andresen. Marina was officially announced on Thursday morning as the second of 3 German language Peloton Tread instructors. Marina's premier class was held on Thursday, September 29th, as well, noon Eastern time. And she, John, I think is going to be a force to be reckoned with. From 5Ks to marathons to ultra marathons, she's finished over 80 races in 20 countries and says she's just getting started. In her bio on the Peloton page, she states that she really wants running to be accessible to everyone at every level. Marina took to her IG and shared that she was actually an investment banker. Seems she has something in common with Ben Alldis. And she speaks 4 languages, English, German, French, and Spanish. And she's learning to speak Hebrew and Mandarin. So she certainly is quite a talented woman. She also, isn't that amazing? She also is very passionate and says that she does run for a cause. When she runs, she likes to run for a cause. And the one that she specifically gravitates towards is multiple sclerosis. That one she says she is, exceptionally passionate about. So whether there's a family member or somebody she knows that potentially suffers from MS, that is something that she said that she does like to run for. She ran a 72K ultra marathon in India. She's done 2 comrade marathons with more in the future. She did a 120-kilometer race across the desert in Peru and an ice marathon in Siberia, just to name a few.
Anything else?
I'd say I'm pretty impressed, right, John?
Good Lord. That's quite a resume.
I mean, isn't it just? When I was going through her stuff and reading, in preparation for the show, I was like, this woman is freaking like bio woman. I mean,
Marathon
she's
runners are a whole different breed of cat.
Unbelievable.
A whole different animal.
Yeah. I mean, I take my hat off to it because I do not have endurance. And when I see, this in this, and I think that if I'm not mistaken, Susie is also quite a big marathon runner, the new UK trade coach. I do take my hat off, And it seems that even with Marina, it came later on in life. It wasn't something that she, started doing at a young age. It kind of fitness and this type of thing did come later in life. And then lastly, John, you heard it here first, when Marcel Maurer, and I probably butchered that last name too, so please accept my apologies.
Say Marcel.
Marcel. Well, there are 2 Marcels. There are 2 Marcels.
Marcel M.
Marcel M, that's a good one. Yep. So when he joined the German instructor team, we had announced that as a strength coach, but now it is evident from the tread teaser that he too will be teaching tread, rounding out the 3 new tread coaches for the German community. So that is something really exciting to look forward to, with everyone now being able to purchase their treads, and the ability. They are saying there is probably about a 5 to 6 week wait for the treads to be delivered, but at least there'll be lots of content when folks do get them. And then next up, just a quickie. Peloton will be doing their pause and reflect, where the studios will be closed from Sunday, October the 10th to the 12th, with no live classes for those 3 days. They did state, though, that they will be dropping on-demand classes as well as encore classes focusing on recovery and relaxation. So for those of you that are celebrating a birthday or hitting a milestone, I know that this can be quite disappointing, but there's no question that you guys can certainly find a group to encore with and celebrate with them. I think it's a good opportunity for us all to just kind of take a back seat. I know we tend to push ourselves, and it's nice for everybody to just get that little bit of a break, and I'm sure the instructors need it too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, speaking of some some changes with the schedule. So to give everyone a heads up, we do have some fall schedule changes, and these are something that Peloton does every year. So if you haven't already noticed, some classes that say, are at 6 a.m. normally Eastern time, they might now be at 7:30 a.m. So basically, if you see some of the times that you're used to seeing for some of the regular classes that you do on the platform, they might look different starting next week. I know Christine's got a 45-minute ride, I think at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So say like a 45-minute 8 a.m. time might go to 9:30 a.m., which part of me kind of likes this, because the shift, now I don't feel like I'm neglecting that morning family time when Jackson's, getting ready to go off to school, and I'm rushing down to the basement or, coming back and forth, and I feel
itching to get on.
I feel a little guilty missing that time. So now, not so much, hopefully, with the schedule change. But yeah, don't fear. It's something normal that Peloton has been doing for the fall schedule. So.
Yeah, I wonder if some of that has to do with the time change as we're nearing, the beginning of end of October. I guess we change our clocks back. So, that could be, because it's going to get ugly as it gets dark early and as everything changes. So, yeah.
Well, shifting gears now to our boo Cody Rigsby and Dancing with the Stars. So, if you didn't already hear, his partner Cheryl Burke. I think it was the night before the competition, or the early that morning, the day of their scheduled competition, for the show Monday night, Cheryl tested positive for COVID-19. So they were not able to perform live in the ballroom with everyone else. But they were judged based on a taping of one of their rehearsals. And I think they did the salsa last week, if I'm not mistaken, Amanda. I think it was the salsa.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think you could be right. Yeah.
I think it was salsa. The first week it was tango. So it was a sort of a rough sort of run at it. Obviously, they didn't think they were going to be judged based on this. But luckily, somebody they had a camera set up or a tripod going. So we got to see the performance, and part of me kind of liked it because, I felt like they were a little looser, obviously they weren't intending it to be for the judges. So, they just, it just seemed more fluid, but unfortunately, or however you want to say, they got the same scores as the previous week. They got all 6s again, for a total of 24 from each judge. And I don't know if it's really fair to give them, to judge them based on that. At least they still got a score with everyone else that week. I don't think it's going to hurt their, it's not like I don't feel they're in any jeopardy of being eliminated. But I don't know what they're going to do for this coming Monday night, because Cheryl still has to be in a 10-day quarantine. She says she's doing well. She had a little podcast that she did, a little podcast interview with Cody. So she's in real good spirits. It was like a 10-minute sort of podcast chat with her and Cody. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually do have Cody rehearsing with an alternate, which I would expect for this coming Monday night, which is Britney week. So
yeah,
very
I
excited
know.
about
I know of
Britney
all the weeks. I mean, this is Cody's week, right? I mean, he is like, there's no question that Britney's going to be, his probably most favorite dance. I do think, John, from what I've been reading, is that there is an alternative. So somebody will step in for Cheryl, and hopefully we'll get Cody on the dance floor. I know that his class was cancelled on Wednesday night. He usually has that 7:30 class on Wednesday night, and I know that was cancelled.
Tuesday as well. Yeah.
So maybe it's just that they've kind of got him in quarantine, maybe just because they're not sure. I hope that that's all it is, and that he's doing okay. I know he's got to be so bummed, but we're living in a very different world.
True, and it'll be interesting to see what Britney song he dances to, and then obviously he's going to go with a very fierce outfit. He did talk about the outfit on that podcast that Cheryl was on. He did talk about how bummed he was not to be able to wear this fierce outfit that he had ready for the salsa dance.
Yeah,
but it'll be fun either way. At least I just hope he'll be there live in the ballroom. Hopefully with a backup a backup performer. But also, if a shout out to Chris Lewis, because he works so hard on the back end, posting the articles and the stories. He does have a little sort of little tip that he put together for shortcuts. I don't know if it's for Android users, but on the iPhone.
Yes, he did it for both.
Okay, so for both Android and iPhone users, there's a way to create a shortcut to automatically send out your 10 texts for Cody to vote for him, which you must do during the time frame, depending on what time zone you're in, when the show is on. I guess it's a 2-hour window for when the show comes on in your time zone that you have, but it'll automatically send off those 10 texts. And if you happen to post that, because I know somebody else posted that and they didn't credit Pelo Buddy, so we do appreciate you giving us a shout out, and you know who I'm talking about, Amanda. and I know that individual is listening, so I'm just going to say thank you for listening to us or watching.
I love it, John. You are so subtle, but you know what? You have a point. And it is really cool because you can vote from as early as, right into the show. So whatever, if you are Eastern Standard Time, you can start voting right at 8, after 8. You don't have to wait till the end of the show. And come on, we're such an awesome community. We've all just got to do it. So our UK viewers that are listening to our show, our German viewers that are listening to our show, our Australian viewers, jump on pelobuddy.com so that you can see what you need to do, because you can vote from anywhere. It's both online, so you can do both the ABC website and you can text. And that is going to be a huge thing, because a lot of the score, obviously he still has to dance well and get his judges' score, but a lot of it does depend on, the audience and us watching. So
even if you don't work out much with Cody, you're not a fan of him, he's one of he's a big member of the Peloton family, so we got to support
for sure. 100%.
So show up for Cody. And I love everybody posting. Monday night's so fun, seeing all the social media posts from members and instructors. So I love to see that. So let's show up for Cody.
It's all about our community, hey, John, and just coming together. And this is really fun. This is definitely fun. It's going to be, if he can, look, there's some amazing dancers, but he's talented, and we know that he's talented. So there's a really good shot that he, would land up, in the finals, and if not, at, possibly the winner.
Without a doubt, he could go all the way with how talented and his dancing background. So, definitely.
For sure. So, who jumped on Ben Alldis's 30-minute Bond 007 ride on Thursday, folks?
I was there.
Do I give away my pick of the week with a spoiler? Sorry, John.
I knew it was going to be one of yours.
Oh my God, it was very exciting this past week to learn that Peloton had partnered with the newest 007 James Bond film, No Time to Die, and dropped a series of special classes taught by our very own licensed to thrill secret agent, Mr. Alldis. That's Benjamin Alldis. The series was named License to Move and included a 30-minute 007 ride, which was live on Thursday, September 30th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then tomorrow, Monday, a 20-minute upper body strength live class will happen. So that's October the 4th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And they're also dropping an on-demand stretch from Ben. So Ben is doing the entire series. All three will be his. And I mean, I will save it for my picks of the week, but I have seen every single Bond film. I am a huge Bond fanatic. My brother, I remember growing up from a little girl, was like obsessed with James Bond. So that was something we always spoke about. And believe it or not, John, this new Bond movie is the 25th to be released in the series. So it's pretty impressive that it's gone on, it's probably the longest running, I would say, like from a movie perspective, the most
franchise.
In a series. Franchise, thank you. I was thinking of the word. Yeah.
So two questions for you, Amanda.
Yeah.
Who is, of all the actors that have played James Bond, who is your favorite and what is your favorite Bond movie?
So Pierce Brosnan is my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Later James Bond.
Yeah. I mean, look, Roger Moore is amazing, and but for some reason, I don't know. I just got a sense with he's just so British. He's so he's my Bond guy. And then as far as movies, you stumping. What would be yours?
So my favorite, and this might get some hate, but my favorite, I really love Roger Moore, kind of when, I think it was kind of because of the period growing up, in the 80s. Mm-hmm. That's when he was doing a lot of them. And he's, he was an older, he was much older in age when he was playing James Bond in the movie that he did. I mean, I think he was already maybe 50 when he did Live and Let Die, which was his very first James Bond movie.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that he was that old.
I love Moonraker. I love Moonraker because it's got like the space element. It's campy. It's got the bad guy Jaws.
Yeah.
Drax the bad guy. There's just so many like fun things. Like they go off to Egypt at one point. But I love James. I love Roger Moore. But also he kind of reminds me of my father, because my father, he kind of looks a little bit like my dad. My dad was kind of like a true gentleman. He never swore. So he always makes me think of my dad. So I guess I have a special place in my heart.
Oh my God, John, I love that. That's awesome. That's awesome. I know I was actually saying to Mark that I wanted to do like a marathon, because I don't remember. I'm so bad at remembering movies. I mean, I could have seen a movie last week and I don't remember what happened. And Mark has this thing about never going back and watching a movie again. Can you believe it? he doesn't believe if he's watched it once, done. He's like one and done.
Godfather 2. There's so many movies that have so much.
Godfather, interestingly enough, Godfather is definitely one of his absolutely favorite series in movies, this franchise, whatever, that I would say. But he's just not a big one. And my kids usually get so frustrated because they're big ones to go back and watch movies over again. I mean, they've probably watched the Harry Potter series. I don't even know how many times. But we said that we definitely wanted to see it. And we actually did get tickets for Wednesday night. So we're going to see the premiere, the release here in Maryland on Wednesday night. Nice. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited. So hopefully next week I can share with you guys. But actually, interestingly, this is going to be Daniel Craig's last leading role as a Bond guy. So whether they're going to continue the franchise with somebody new, I don't know the answer to that. Do you? Have you?
Well, I'm sure they're going to continue it. I had always heard before this last one went into production, this one that's coming out, or that came out in London, I had heard that Idris Elba was going to be the next James Bond for a while.
Interesting.
When they weren't sure if Daniel Craig was going to sign on to do another one. So who knows?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see who the next choice. They're obviously going to continue it, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see who they go with next.
Yeah. So as you mentioned this past you mentioned this past Tuesday, the film actually did premiere in London at the Royal Albert Hall with none other than our very own Ben and Leanne in attendance. And to say that they looked spectacular, I don't know, is an understatement. I mean, somehow Leanne Hainsby outshone Kate Middleton. I am saying it to my British fellow viewers and listeners. I love you guys, and I think that Kate is gorgeous. But you know what? Leanne looked spectacular. She even color coordinated with Daniel Craig. I mean, come on, John. Yeah, she was like, he was there in his, hot pink suede suit, and she had her fuchsia, if you want to call it, hot pink dress. I know that Chris is going to pop up pictures here so you guys can get to see who didn't get to see what she wore, but she looked spectacular. And Kate was there with her husband, Prince William, and her in-laws, Prince Charles and Camilla. So there was certainly quite an attendance in the audience, right?
The royals all show up for the Bond premieres.
For sure. I mean, yeah. And the evening did it looked quite sensational. And whilst Leanne never got to mingle with Ginger Spice, Jerry Halliwell, she was there too. She did admit to running after Niles Rogers to snap a pic together. So she had that on her Instagram.
Rogers. Who's that?
He's a singer. He's a singer, and she did run after him. So yeah, it was just amazing to see. I'm so happy that they got to be there. And then Ben did go on to actually do an Instagram live on Wednesday with the athletic trainer, Daniel Craig's athletic trainer.
I popped into it for a hot second when they were live for a bit.
I actually listened to the whole thing, and it was.
I popped in and I had no context of who he was talking to, or I thought it was maybe a producer on the show or something. So I was like, who is this? Who is this person? I didn't watch it live. But I did watch it on demand, and it was about a half an hour long, and it was really interesting. And he spoke about how he was literally with Daniel Craig in training for over a year, right from the beginning, and he needed to understand the script and get involved, and how he had to just ensure that he was fit and healthy. And he said, which was kind of cool, when he knocked on his trailer, and this wasn't for this movie, but what he had said for the very first movie, because he's been working with Daniel, I guess, over the movies that he's done. The very first movie, when he knocked on the trailer door, he first knocked on Nicole Kidman's trailer and realized it was the wrong one, and was like, ooh, I guess this is the wrong one. But then he went on to say that when he knocked on Daniel's, Daniel was standing eating like a bacon sandwich and smoking a cigarette, and he looked at the trainer and said, I guess this needs to go, right? So yeah, it was nice to hear, and I'm glad that Ben got to chat with him. It was a really cool interview. So that was really exciting. I was going to ask if, since you watched the whole interview, I'm sure Daniel Craig doesn't Peloton, but it would have been fun if Ben had mentioned, did you get a bike for Craig, Daniel Craig?
He didn't. He did talk about Peloton. He did mention, how, just about training hard and making sure that the community know that they need to also take breaks. And, he was really kind of pushing that, because this is what the trainer had said. But yeah, no, he did not. That did not come up.
Being a smoker and Pelotoning, those don't really go hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
Gotta give up those. I wish I have such disdain for smoking, so it's.
Yeah.
It's always a bummer to find out when one of your favorite actors is a smoker in real life.
I know. I'm very anti-smoking too. Yeah, I am very anti-smoking too. All right, John. So yeah, control room just corrected me or gave me, chimed in, and the trainer that Ben chatted with, Daniel Craig's trainer, Simon Waterson.
Sam.
So shout out to Simon Waterson.
I thought it was Sam Waterson.
No, Simon.
Oh, Simon. Okay.
Simon Waterson. I got that bit. So moving on. But yeah, that was fun, and I'm glad that the series came out, and I think it's fun, and I'm looking forward to jumping on the strength and the stretch that Ben will drop tomorrow. And then in other series news, a Broadway series with a ride and strength class featuring a Jagged Little Pill, a musical inspired by Alanis Morissette's album, was announced only to be cancelled that same day. So there was no official statement made by Peloton as to why, but after announcing a ride with Christine and a strength class with Maddie, both were cancelled. So not sure if it could be related to an investigation launched by the producers of the show or not. And that's certainly a question, but it's gone. No talk of it, no evidence of it. And we'll have to see whether that comes back.
It kind of felt like Peloton sort of distancing themselves from the stench a little bit of, this possible scandal now that obviously, more will probably come to light once they get further into this investigation I think it was some of or one particular actor that's no longer on the show. I don't know if it was a trans actor, but they made claims of, I don't want to use the wrong words, but just like unfair treatment, some sort of like bullying, harassment.
I didn't know what the backstory was, to be honest. I didn't really know what had happened.
Pulled up, but yeah, some sort of claims along those lines, like they were forced to still perform when they were undergoing some sort of surgery that they needed, elective surgery that they needed to get. So I feel like, Peloton just probably wanted to distance themselves from a potential, scandal that's going to come out from it. So yeah, but it was kind of weird because Matty Majacomo, he had posted all about it in his stories, and then when the classes quickly were canceled and then switched to, I think Matty's run was switched to a Broadway run that he ended up doing. He quickly pulled deleted those Instagram stories.
Interesting.
About it. And then there was no further comment about it. So it's a little odd. I kind of wish they would sort of give a reason. Mm-hmm. But sometimes that's the Peloton way, it seems. You don't really get, you don't get the detail, you don't get a clear answer.
Correct.
Anyway, shifting gears to a ride that is currently scheduled that hopefully will not be canceled last minute. Christine D'Ericol, CDE, she has a 7-year anniversary ride coming up on Monday, October 4th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And it's just the little description on the class schedule says, in this ride, Christine will take us on a journey through her most memorable moments and milestones that have shaped who she is today. So I'm sure we will get some classic Christine stories that I love to hear her tell, like the what's the volcano, Haleakala, her volcano story that I've heard a couple times. That's kind of a cool story especially when you're in a climb on a ride. But that's going down. So case in point about the fall schedule change, 45-minute ride at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time is not one, is kind of an unusual time slot for a 45-minute class. So just make note of that for Monday morning. So we also have a new ride series, the Ozuna Latin Heritage Month LHM Artist Series. So last Monday morning, Peloton announced their first featured artist series, which is part of the bigger Latinx Heritage Month celebration happening. This will feature the music of Ozuna. So members will be able to ride with Jess, run with Selena, or do a strength class with Rad Lopez. And you can find the complete schedule, list of classes on pelobuddy.com. And we also have a list of all, past and current artist series content that you can find easily on the Pelo Buddy website. I had never heard of Ozuna before, so I actually just
Me neither.
looked up the background on him. So he's a Puerto Rican singer. All 5 of his studio albums have topped the Billboard Latin album charts. His musical style is described as primarily, might pronounce this wrong, reggaeton and trap, but he has also collaborated with artists just spanning a multitude of different genres. I didn't have a chance to do any of the, I know Jess had a ride. I just didn't have a chance to hop on any of those.
Yeah, I haven't. I must be honest, I didn't either. I haven't done it either. But I know Selena had a run as well that one of my girlfriends was doing a milestone on, Atomic Blonde 1, did her 300th ride on that, and I was really hoping to jump on. But unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to do that yet. Talking about running, this week, Peloton actually launched a brand new training program called You Can Run Outdoors. This program, John, actually complements the existing You Can Run program with the new program consisting of entirely outdoor audio runs. So it's an 8-week program specifically, as I said, for outdoor running, allowing members the opportunity to run for 30 minutes quite comfortably without stopping. So that should be really interesting. It's actually there are 8 coaches to run with, and it's an 8-week program. So I believe it's an 8-week program. There are 2 runs from each coach, and there are 8 coaches that are going to be, that have been selected. They are the other Marcel Dinkins, Maddie Majacomo, Matt Wilpers, Jess Sims, Selena, Jess King, Bex Gentry, and Kristen Ferguson. So if you're looking to find these classes, folks, they are exclusive to the program, and they are locked inside the program system. So something to note, you are really encouraged to take the program in order and not skip ahead, and the app tries to prevent you actually from doing so. So you can, however, find the classes on your phone and go directly to them, but if you do that, you won't receive the coveted badge. So they really do want you to make sure that you actually do them in sequence, which is interesting. So those folks that are, with all these new coaches, I mean, you were just saying, there's so much now to do with running. Yeah. They really are pushing the running platform, quite actively. So it may be fun to do, and I would be interested to see if I could do 30 minutes comfortably without stopping, because right now I don't know if I could do that outside. On the treadmill, I think I could, but funny enough, outside I struggle with that, with the outside running. On
the treadmill, I've done so much as a 45-minute. I've done a few 45-minute runs. I'm not
good
my
for you.
Not my. I don't really like to run for that long, but if it's an 80s run, with Andy or Rebecca or one of my favorites, then I'll do it. But I don't know if I'd want to do 30 minutes outside.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean,
it's nice in a nice controlled AC controlled environment in the basement. With a fan blowing on me, and I'm not baking in the sun, so, yeah.
Going back to Marina and her, 120 kilometers or 72, it's going to take days. It would take me days to do it. I mean, seriously, it's crazy. But this week, we also saw that Peloton have actually rebranded how they talk about their 2 different subscription packages. They're talking about the app. They have now... So the previously named Peloton Digital Membership is actually now going to be referred to as the Peloton App Membership. So as most of you are aware, Peloton does have two different subscription packages. One is the All Access membership, which is one that one would subscribe to when you purchase the hardware. Okay, so that's the All Access membership, versus the second membership, which is the now referred to Peloton app membership, available for folks who use Peloton but don't actually own the hardware. So that was just kind of a little marketing thing that happened this past week. Nothing seems to change, and the app seems to be exactly how it is. And it's funny because I always refer to it as the app. I never refer to it, as kind of digital. Yeah. But it differentiates, and I think that's what they kind of wanted to do, differentiate the difference between those two.
But the instructors, I was just the other morning, I was on a 6 a.m. country ride, no less. You wouldn't believe I would get up for country music at 6 a.m. But with Hannah Corbin,
I'm shocked.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking, but she shouted out. She's like, "Oh, my Peloton digital members, they need to update the instructor tablet because when they sort by all in studio,
yes,
it says digital." So they need
Good point.
They need to brief the instructors on the new word, the new semantics, the wording.
They do. They need to. So it's the app. It's all app users versus hardware users. Yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, we have last week, Amanda, Peloton quietly sent out some emails to Peloton app members with a special offer to try to entice them to upgrade to the full Peloton bike experience. The offer was for a refurbished original Peloton bike, not the Plus, for $11.95, so $11.95 American, US dollars, so a $300 discount off the normal price of the bike. And the email states that certain app members received, it's a perfect time to elevate your workouts with us on the Peloton bike from today, September 26th. And this was just through the weekend. It ran through Monday, September 27th, early morning. Members can purchase a refurbished bike for $11.95 with financing available. It appears, though, you get the standard 1-year warranty, but it did state that there was no extended warranty available through Peloton. And one interesting note that Chris Lewis pointed out in his article, what he posted about this, was if you didn't receive that email, you can try, and even if we're well past this date, but if you try heading over to the Peloton website, members have reported seeing a banner on there telling them that they are eligible, providing them access as well. So it couldn't hurt if you were still wanting to get in on the deal and you missed the boat. Maybe you'll get lucky. And in other hardware-related news, apparently Peloton has made another confidential filing with the FCC this past week for another Peloton tablet and video screen. And from the sleuthing that Chris Lewis did with Pelo Buddy, it would appear it's simply just a minor refresh of the Peloton bike monitor. So I don't think there's anything. It looks like there might be some different Wi-Fi capabilities for frequencies it runs on, but from what I read on the breakdown, there wasn't any significant hardware difference in this. Maybe they just upgraded some of the process. It still is running a version of Android for the operating system.
Got it. All right, John. So all those crazies out there that seem to eat, sleep, and breathe Peloton can now get excited. But for some, I guess not too excited. The annual challenge that gives us hungry folks a badge for minutes spent on the platform has been increased with 2 extra badges. So now you can get an 18,000 minute badge and a 20,000 minute badge. So back in 2020, the highest level badge you could receive was 10,000 minutes. With the launch of the 2021 annual challenge, Peloton actually had increased the level to 15,000 minutes. Now, while some members, this will take all year for them to get to. Others had, in fact, hit that back in the summer. And I wanted to share because I was really proud. So we've had some amazing people on this show over the year that we've been doing the show. And while I'm very proud of myself, John, I am close to hitting that 20,000 minutes. You, on the other hand, my friend,
I don't even
have
know
already passed that.
What am I at?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
22,000 something, my friend. So I was really impressed. I mean, you are like way out there. But John, you have some serious pedaling and running to do because some members are way, way beyond that. And they are people that we've interviewed on this show. So I now know why we've interviewed them on the show. Because they are those Peloton crazies.
The fanatics, yes.
And you know, I say that to you guys with the biggest heart because we've joked about this.
We say that
you know,
with
there
love,
is with love. There is no negative other than I'm a little bit jealous that you guys find that much time. And I thought that once I quit work, I would become one of you, but I just don't seem to be able to get there yet. But with permission, and I did get permission from each one of them to share, and they were quite excited. I will share. Texas, yes or yes. Maggie Craig is just under 1,000 short of 50,000 minutes.
Wow.
So Maggie, you win the prize. Now, those are only the people that I follow. So as you guys know, you can go onto the app or onto, I think the bike shows you, I mean, the hardware would show you as well. And if you click the annual challenge, you can see everybody you follow. So these are only the people, and obviously I follow all the people that have been on the show. But those, anyone you follow, you'd be able to see where they're at. So from my followers, Maggie, Texas Yes or Yes is 50,000, is what at the time of record was 1,000 short of 50,000 minutes. Very close behind was Daisy Mack. Daisy Mack is almost at 40,000 minutes. Our very own Emily Parsons, John, is almost at 24,000. So she's just a little ahead of you. And Cinco, since he had to get back to work and was no longer working from home, I know he had to go back in and had to reduce his hours on the tread and the bike, is at 21,000.
Not too shabby, Tony.
I'm telling you, Tony, definitely, I gotta say, and I'll give Tony the shout out because I am so unbelievably impressed with this guy. Just ran 2 big races. I believe they were 2 marathons. They may have been half marathons. I'm blanking for a minute now, but like back-to-back weekends. So I don't know, Tony. You should have stuck the app on in your ear and gotten the extra runs when you were training. You would have been way over the 21,000. So those are just again a few of the friends that we've had on the show, and I did want to just preface it by saying that I did get permission from them, but I got to tell you, I needed to give them a shout out for their John, for their commitment, their dedication, and their madness.
We all drink the Pelo Kool-Aid here.
Right. Now, if you're wondering, folks, how you can find out how you need to get to that 20,000 if you're not there yet, Chris has gone ahead and put on his page a calculator that gives you...
PeloBuddy.com.
On pelobuddy.com, how many workouts you need to do every day between now and the end of the year. And it's actually really, really cool. And it'll tell you which badge you'll hit. So you can head over to pelobuddy.com to utilize the calculator and see specifically what you need to be doing to get to that next point. Now, unfortunately, it is only going to give you up to that 20,000. So if you haven't reached the 20,000 mark, it'll be able to tell you that. But obviously, anything over 20,000, it doesn't calculate what you would need to get to the others. But isn't that unbelievable, John?
That's wild.
I know. And talking about badges, one was able to secure a new Flash Challenge badge last weekend. The new Ride the Weekend Challenge gave folks a badge if they took any 2 cycling classes between September 24th and the 26th. So I was so bummed because that would have been an easy one for me. And my luck, I was out of town at a wedding last weekend and was not able to get onto the bike. So I couldn't secure that badge. But if you're unsure as to which classes you guys do need to take for certain badges, and we all know that we are badge hungry, again, be sure to head over to pelobuddy.com because Chris has a full list of other Peloton badges that you can secure. So make sure that you do that as well. What else? I think I have one more here. There was a new drop on the Peloton apparel page this past week. And it was in recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A new collection was dropped with tons of options, folks. So for you guys wanting to help support those that have battled or who are battling breast cancer, and we know that there are tons and tons on the platform. We interviewed our very own Fearless Vixen, who had been a breast cancer survivor. We interviewed Buzzy Bird, who has been a cancer survivor. This is specifically breast cancer awareness. The collection was, as Peloton had said, inspired by the courage and strength of the members who have bravely taken on the fight. So from September 28th through October, I believe it's 31st of this month, Peloton will actually donate 20% of the purchase price, up to $30,000 American dollars, from the collection to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So, make sure that you head over to the apparel store to shop. There really are some cool things that they have dropped. And I got to tell you, John, I'm really, really impressed with this new stuff. I got to tell you, I'm itching for a couple more referrals because I'm all out and I can't stop spending, and it's like driving me insane. How about you?
I had mentioned last week I threw some shade at Peloton Apparel because I've been waiting for my swag for a couple weeks, and it finally arrived on Monday, and I do, and this is one of the pieces, this sort of salmon peach color.
It's really cool, yeah.
But it's nice. I got a bunch of shirts. I got a couple pairs of shorts. I got the backpack.
Did you really?
The smaller size. I really wanted that. You remember when they had the red and blue 3D backpack with the white Peloton letters that sort of popped out? I really wanted that. I found one on eBay, brand new, for $60 in blue. So I got that. So that was a nice little eBay score. Not through the Peloton site, but no, it's been a while since I got any apparel. But yeah, I'm liking the shirts that I did get.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I got way too much. I mean, I don't need the stuff, but this was one of them that I got. This top, I got a lot of stuff, and I keep on going on and I'm doing it in small batches, so it's not like this huge amount of money on the for one charge at one time. Well, and the nice thing is.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, the nice thing is that the stuff is there. It's it's not like it used to be in the old days where you had to scramble to jump on when the drop happened because you weren't going to get anything. They really have upped their game from an inventory perspective. So that's really cool to see.
Yeah, it was. I felt bad for the female members wanting to get apparel because for the men's it never really sold out like it did, but for y'all. It was like you had to. It was like buying tickets for like a Taylor Swift concert. It would sell out in seconds. And it was all. And folks on the West Coast were waking up early just so they could watch and refresh the apparel page. When the drop happened. So it's nice that they don't have those they don't seem to have those huge supply strains that I guess you could say they did previously. But I'm swimming in referral codes right now, Amanda. I'm maxed out on my code.
That's awesome. That's awesome, John.
Now I got to switch to using Jackie's, because
I've done that.
she's still got about 9 slots left on hers. But yeah, on my TikTok, I just put email me for a Peloton. I've gotten so many referral requests and so many people buying the bike. So I've got about 7 codes to burn right now that are good until April. So I'm gonna be swimming in swag for a while, waiting for that. Hopefully we get the Black Friday. Around Black Friday, we get that 50% off sale this year, which we didn't get last year, which was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, well, they were out of stock. They probably had no stock at the end of last year. Everybody, everybody had bought bikes through the pandemic and treads, and had probably used up codes.
Well, back then, everybody was, waiting on the Bike Plus. There was, the Bike Plus had been released, and people had these crazy long waits and delivery dates that they were getting, when they ordered it on the first day that it came out. So,
True.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe, who knows? But now that Peloton Apparel is like their own entity, yeah, maybe we won't get lucky with a massive Black Friday. So I'm not getting my hopes up too much. But I got plenty of codes to use, so I'm
That's
not hurting.
awesome, John. Yeah, I have two left. I'm at 10, so I have 2 left. Okay. I got 2 slots left.
So you got Mark's codes, Mark's
and
codes
then I go for Mark's, absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, in other news, Peloton was recently recognized by Product Marketing Alliance, or PMA. They were named Product of the Year. And they stated, "That is why we are super excited to be awarding the Product Launch of the Year award today. We must crown one winner, and we are over the moon to confirm that the winner of the Product Launch of the Year award is Ryan Dillon Curran, who is Senior Director and Head of Cardio Product Marketing at Peloton."
Wow.
He and the product marketing team at Peloton have been recognized for the 2020 launch of the Peloton Bike Plus, the first evolution of the best cardio machine on the planet, quote unquote, originally released in 2014. PMA went on to say that the aim is to meet our consumers' need, this is Peloton quoted as saying, to meet our consumers' need for an immersive, tech-forward experience that delivers on variety beyond spinning to sell more bikes and create more engaged members. The challenge by introducing a more expensive version of a loved product, clearly landing the message, was key to ensuring consumers understood the value the product could deliver. Sorry, I think that was PMA being quoted for their basis for the award.
Nice.
For giving that recognition to Peloton. But yeah, it's a nice.
Well, John, with that, and what I'm about to share, I'm not quite sure what's happening to the Peloton stock, and I know we're not going to talk major stock stuff, but it is a disaster right now. Yeah. So hopefully, with them being announced, and for this, and the fact that Jill Foley, Peloton's vice president of apparel, and of course we all know John Foley's wife, was actually interviewed by CNN Business talking about the company's strategy to win customers, and they've done it pretty well. And how they've done that is through this new apparel line that they've launched. They've really made that their focus, as we've discussed. So we all know that with the pandemic and with everybody working from home, most folks switched to yoga pants and t-shirts, and business attire was no longer needed, right? I mean, when was the last time you wore a suit? And I know you were working at home, working from home prior to this pandemic. But for most folks, I mean, and I laugh about it because just with this wedding we went to this past weekend, my husband suddenly got all nervous and he goes, "Oh shoot, am I going to fit into the suit? I haven't worn a suit in God knows how, in how long." So I guess this is where Peloton, apparel comes into play. And according to Jill, this is what members were asking for. They just wanted to see more like comfortable at-home leisure wear that they could, use both on the bike, the tread, or just, at home in working. So the only thing is that we do need to recognize that Peloton does have stiff competition when it comes to leisure wear. I mean, between Lululemon, Nike, Athleta, and you know what? Some newcomers, John, Brooks Brothers, also is coming out with a leisure wear. They're all kind of fighting for that market share. So head over to pelobuddy.com for Jill's full interview on kind of what kind of made her go in this direction. But hopefully this is what's going to add to the effectiveness of the Peloton brand in having that. And then Australia got a really nice review. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look. It was in it was actually in the financialreview.com, and the article was written by David Johnson. Excuse me. I can't believe that I just did that, and I was thinking about that. It's John Davidson. I can't believe that I just did that. And he went on to say, and it was a really, really funny article that he had written. And I'm not going to go into it. Definitely head over. But basically, he said that, he said, and I just quoted, it was always going to end badly between Peloton and me. Coming into the relationship, I had a list as long as my arm and reasons why it was never going to work. And he goes on to saying how he hates to exercise, he hates something that has to be internet connected. It kind of went on and on, only to say that it was the best thing that ever happened to him. And it's a really fun article to take a look at. So definitely head over to pelobuddy.com to read that full article.
Well, another instructor in the news, Amanda, big congratulations to Peloton coach Mariana Fernandez, who completed a half Ironman in Cozumel last week.
Amazing. And also a huge congrats to Dara Tressida. She was just ranked third as one of Forbes' most influential CMOs. So for those folks that don't know, Dara is the not new anymore. Gosh, she's been there now for almost a year, I think. But she was brought onto the team back last year as the Chief Marketing Officer. And the list comprised of the top 50 marketing leaders in the industry. Dara climbed from 20 spots she climbed up 20 spots from last year to number 3. So I think that's pretty impressive that she was,
who was one and two?
Oh God, did you seriously just ask me that?
I thought you would have that.
They were. I'm not going to let you trump me there. No, it was actually the top of the list was Netflix. The Netflix CMO, Bazoma St. John. So he was the number one, and followed by Stephanie McMahon. She is the Executive Vice President and Chief Brand Officer at WWE. So those was number 1 and 2.
World WWE.
Interesting.
World Wrestling Federation?
I believe so.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I never would have guessed that.
No, I mean, Netflix I can get because they've just, come on, especially in this last year where no one can, 18 months where no one's really gone to movies.
Yeah.
It was really, it's a big feather in her cap, no question. To get that title is pretty amazing. So good for her.
I always love hearing about Peloton, getting recognition in these different, categories because they've just, exploded and they're just become a household name. But it's great to see them recognized for, especially a lot of people that you don't really know. We know John Foley, right, and we know Tom Cortese, one of the co-founders, but we don't really know a lot of other names and with faces. So it's really great to see a lot of the other folks, high up in the organization,
But I think even with
that
Jill,
recognition too.
but even
Jill
with
Foley, yeah.
even with Jill, I mean, she was kind of kept under the radar. I think in the early days of what she had done as far as apparel went, and even with the collaborations with the different brands that she had. But it's nice to see her kind of stand her own ground. And as I was preparing, for today's record, I was thinking, do I say John Foley's wife? Because one of the things, my husband and I worked together for 28 years, and one of the things I hated when people introduced me was introducing me as Mark Siegel's wife, because I worked there. I had my own thing, and so apologies to Jill for throwing in there John Foley's wife, because you are Jill Foley and you have done a brilliant job in what you've done with the apparel. So kudos to Jill.
It's funny, totally random tangent to go on, but one time early on when Jackie did a milestone ride with Cody, this is before she had previously, her original leaderboard name was Because Queso.
Okay, I remember that.
Over a year ago, she changed it to Playing Big because she felt like it was more aligned with her, who she was. It more represented her, whatever. But she was Because Queso, so back then, we had one bike, and obviously I was annoyed that she was taking a live Cody ride, but I reluctantly agreed because it was a milestone for her. So without her knowing, I changed her location field to say Kenny Banya's wife.
Oh God!
So in the pre-show, he said, and I have the clip, somewhere on my phone, but he said, "Because Queso, what's up 250 and Kenny Banya's wife." No, don't let him get the credits. No, he is your husband. He should be putting Because Queso's husband on his profile. So
I
it made
love
her
that.
a really funny shout out. So she wasn't too mad about it because he gave her some good attention there. Just the random memory that popped into my head.
No, I love it, and it's true. I mean, we stand on our own 2 feet, whether it be the guy, whatever it is. So yeah. And then the last little bit of news.
And yes, Jess King was recently on episode 427 of Allie on the Run podcast. I've not had a chance to listen to it. This was a late add to our instructor in the news lineup, but be sure to check out Allie on the Run. She seems to get a lot of instructor interviews lately, so not jealous at all.
Exactly right. Not at all.
So should we get right into our picks of the week?
Yeah, I don't have much, so I'm going to go ahead and give you, as long as you don't steal mine, I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor today.
You with the British instructors, I give you dibs on Leanne and Ben because I know you love them. Those are your favorites.
Those are my favorites.
So I'm going to start it off. I'm trying really to mix it up. I don't want to sort of, I like to give love to all the instructors when I can. So this week I'm going to kick it off with Matt Wilper's 60-minute Power Zone endurance ride. Now don't get scared when you hear endurance. It was zones 2 and 3. So it wasn't a hard ride. It was the lower, focusing on the lower zones. But the thing I really love about Matt Wilper's, especially his Saturday morning rides, they're all request playlists. So you might get the most random mix of different music, but it's really fun because Matt really makes it work. Because Power Zone, it isn't always riding to the rhythm. You're focusing on whatever zone for that class or for whatever segment that he has programmed. But I always say there's always one song in particular that just resonates with me when I hit my stride, and it might be a song I've never heard before on the Peloton platform that I had just no awareness of. But he played a song by The Killers from their album about a year ago, I want to say. But the song is called My Own Soul's Warning, and I took a quick video of myself during the song. I put away my earbuds and let the sound come out of the bike tablet. And I made a point of saying, this is a classic example of music, new or old, that I've never heard before, but I'm hearing for the first time on the Peloton platform, and I'm loving, working out to it, discovering it here. And Matt reshared the story, which was nice. But
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, that song has been like on replay constantly on my phone throughout the week. So it's just kind of fun. And if you're in like the Power Zone pack, Chris Merrill, who who's one of the folks that runs that Facebook page, I want to say, he takes a lot of requests from members, ones that are doing milestones or birthdays. But Matt is great. He's super gracious. He's played a couple song requests for me in the past. So I'm really loving those Saturday morning Wilpers Power Zone all request rides. They're fun.
That's awesome, because
like
you hadn't been doing Power Zone, so it's nice to see that you.
Yeah, I'm not per se, into the whole Power Zone program that that different people have. But I love, doing the rides with some of the instructors, especially Matt. So it's fun. I like to mix it up on Saturdays between Tune Day, Matt, and Alex,
Nice.
and Jess too. Because they teach at different times of the day. So it's nice to get a little, to change things up, get out of my routine
Yeah.
a little bit. Next up, Dennis. I gotta give some love to Dennis Morton. He had a 45-minute classic rock ride the other day on September 28th. Great, classic rock hits. The one that I can think that kind of stood out for me was Pink Floyd's Money from Dark Side of the Moon. Next up, Andy Spear, my boy. Andy, he's got a 20-minute upper body strength class also from September 28th. Did a lot of like chest presses and curls, but that was also an all request class. He had two 20-minute strength classes. The second one I didn't do, I think, was lower body, but he had solicited song requests in his Instagram stories a couple days before, so that was like a fun mix of just different random tunes. And he played my song suggestion in the pre-show of that 20-minute upper body strength, which was Motley Crue's "Kickstart My Heart," which is like a fun 80s, high octane, hair band song. And then rounding out my picks, Matty Majacomo, my tread boo. He had a 20-minute new tracks run from Monday, September 27th. That was a lot of fun. And pre-show was hilarious in that one. I had posted a couple clips from it. Matty he randomly burped.
Oh my goodness!
And he looked over at the PA who was in the studio with him, and he said, "It's like I had mezcal margaritas yesterday at 4:00, and I am still burping up Daenerys Targaryen hellfire."
Oh, that is hysterical! Oh
So,
my goodness!
I posted a clip that said that the headline was, "I can't take this guy anywhere." He reshared. It was hilarious.
Oh, that is
but
too funny.
Just a fun class. I like the new tracks because I usually discover something I have no awareness of, some new music I just didn't realize is out there. So it's a great way. Like I said, I just discover so much music on this platform that normally I wouldn't listen to, like EDM music. I told you recently about. I don't normally listen to EDM, but on the Peloton platform, I love to spin to that shit. It just gets me so revved up, so fired up. So yeah, those are mine.
That's awesome. All right, good stuff. Well, I don't have much. Was traveling Monday, so I just have a few from this week. But there is no question. Hands down, my number one pick of the week was Ben Alldis's 30-minute 007 James Bond ride. It was, I thought, amazing. I mean, did you agree though? You got to admit, right?
It was fun. I love all those theme songs, especially, Paul McCartney's Live and Let Die.
He picked the best.
Think of the other ones. But yeah, he did play some of the newer one from Daniel Craig with Sam Smith. I think that one's called The Writings on the Wall. I think that was in pre-show before it started. But
yes, he did.
Yeah,
he did have that on as the pre-show. I mean, he had from A View, the Duran Duran, From A View to Kill. He had, he had Gladys Knight. He had the Tina Turner from GoldenEye. He picked all the best ones. I mean, Billie Eilish. He rounded it off with "No Time to Die" with Billie Eilish.
Yeah, the newest one. The one I was really hoping that he would play that he didn't is from the movie The Living Daylights, which was Roger Daltrey's. I think he only did 2 Bond movies, but that one is awesome because it's by the 80s band Aha. And it's,
I loved Aha. Aha.
That one, The Living Daylights, the theme song to that movie from the opening, is a kick-ass Bond song. So maybe...
Too funny. Now, the only thing, John, that I was disappointed about, there was no badge. There was no badge. How could there not be a 007 badge?
Yeah, that's kind of a...
They got to fix that, right? Come on.
What was fun, though, I was waiting, we were sitting there with just the black Peloton Studios screen. I wasn't sure if there was going to be a pre-show, but I love the fact that when it did go live, it started out in the traditional Bond theme with the sort of the little circle cutout.
Wasn't that so awesome?
And it started going, do-do-do-do-do. That was fun. And then... Ben almost...
Did you tape it? Because I didn't. I was hoping that you taped it because I gotta have it. When he sat on that, please tell me you taped it.
I stopped recording because I was like, okay, there's no pre-show. So I don't know if that made it. Hopefully, when it drops, hopefully if it's on demand.
I gotta check. I haven't checked on demand yet because that was so cool. Yeah, when he said, and I think so, because there was really, as you said, there was no pre-show. He came in literally. I was actually worried that it wasn't even going to come on because it was in the minute. It was already in that,
Yeah, he started right at his normal intro at when the class would, when they would start.
And of course, him starting with this is Alldis, Benjamin Alldis.
Control Room has chimed in and confirmed it is in the on-demand recording, so you will get the full experience that we got.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. That's awesome.
I thought
that's awesome.
And he was wearing this sort of, it was almost like a skin-tight black mock turtleneck with almost like a gold Peloton logo sticker on there. It reminded me of Sean Connery in Thunderball. I was kind of hoping he would wear the black wetsuit.
Oh, right. It kind of looked like that, though.
That's what it reminded me of. Yeah.
It did.
He gave a lot of, it was fun. He gave a lot of classic, cheesy Bond liners. He's like, your mission, different Bond references that were kind of fun and corny.
And then I really just have rides today. I have 2 other rides that I want to share. One was Hannah Frankson. And I do gravitate towards the UK instructors, but I'm really riding a lot more with Hannah, and I love her. I think she is just fantastic. She is so funny, but she did a 20-minute low impact ride. And I have to tell you, John, it was honestly one of the nicest low impact rides that I've done. Her music selections are amazing as well. I mean, she had Aerosmith in there. I don't want to miss a thing. She had Drake. She played Drake. She played Bruno Mars, Versace on the Floor. That was kind of how she ended it. But it was a really, really good, and I like a 20-minute low impact. It was just perfect for what I needed. So I really liked that one. And then I got to give her a shout out. She rode on her birthday, Leanne's birthday, and happy birthday, Leanne. Her birthday was on Tuesday, and she did a Hidden Heels. I mean, who the hell gets scheduled for a Hidden Heels on their birthday? I mean, seriously, what were Peloton thinking? But you know me. I mean, for folks that follow me, I'm not a Hidden Heels girl. I do not like Hidden Heels, but I got to tell you, that ride was fantastic. Was absolutely fantastic. So I was 5 off of my PB. I was so frustrated. I was literally over the whole time, and in the last 10 minutes, I just could not get over. You just try and push yourself, and I thought I was going to throw up, so I stopped. I really did. I mean, I was like pushing myself. So those are my 3. Those are my 3 for this week. So I guess that, John, wraps it up. Anything else? I believe that is all, right?
I will say I did I got a chance this past week to run with Susie Chan.
Yeah.
I did not. I had not run with her. I did a 20-minute 80s with her. The playlist was great, but I need to. I'll just say this: I need to work out with her more. I couldn't get a sense of her. I couldn't get a sense of her personality. I couldn't get a read on her. So, if this was a couple years ago when I wasn't as open-minded as I am now, I probably would have written her off and been super judgy. But But yeah, I need to do a couple more classes with her because the music was great. It was all British 80s bangers. But she didn't. She just kind of stuck to her program notes. I didn't really see the personality coming through. So I'm hoping I see get more of a personality from her in some upcoming classes. But
yeah. Talking about that, I have to say, I did her premiere, which was okay. Yeah, I mean, it was just okay. But I'm loving Jermaine. I'm loving JJ.
Yeah.
Jermaine Johnson is fantastic.
You could he just exuded that energy and, that smile of his just comes through. It just radiates.
Doesn't it? It radiates. That you hit the nail on the head. It radiates. He's just fun and his banter is just pleasant. He's just really fun to run with. And it's for me, I have to find someone that's going to motivate me because I'm not a runner. So somebody that can keep me motivated. And he's it. He's it. So I got to tell you, I'm really, really enjoying the workouts that I've been doing with him. I haven't done too many, but the couple that I have kind of gravitated towards I've really enjoyed. So good. Well, hopefully folks too.
Like I say, I always, tell any new members, try every instructor at least twice. So I'm going to, take my own advice and
100%.
Try Susie on a different, class and
see what happens.
Hopefully it'll be different. So.
Yeah, and see what happens. Well, folks, that is pretty much it. So I guess we are going to wrap up this week's show. I know we ended up making it into a long one, but there was tons of fun information to share with you guys, and hopefully you stuck it out and got to hear it all because, we love bringing the news to you guys, and we love sharing what's going on in the Peloton world each week. So I guess, John, from me here in Maryland, bye for now, everybody.
Yeah, and for me in Michigan, thank you for tuning in. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.